YouTube? We are back with another deck discussion profile for you all today. I'm joined by our king himself, the Bunny Master, Jorel.
Hello.
Who's going to be going over his Terriermon deck list. This is a deck that he's poured a lot into. I know Terry's kind of your OG boy, so I know you've been looking forward to a lot of the support pieces once the starter deck was announced, and ever since you've been kind of tinkering and playing around with it, and I think you found a pretty strong build, so he's going to be showcasing this build out for you all today. Before we hop into the profile itself, just a quick shout out to our socials, which will be linked in the video description down below. It'll be in our link tree. It contains our Discord, our Twitter, our Instagram, as well as our YouTube and TCG player memberships. The Discord is huge for us. You know, I think we can all agree that like it's grown a lot over the past few weeks, and we've seen a lot more people join almost on the daily, and it's been real fun getting to know a lot of the folks and talking Digimon with them and just seeing how sort of the community just interacts with each other and grows in its own right. So if you want to join it and keep interacting with us, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you could drop a like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it as well, we'd greatly appreciate it on that too. So without further ado, Jorel, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so I guess starting off with the eggs, I'm running 4 of the starter deck Gumimon, which is I feel like that's just a given. I think that's the best egg for the deck right now. Being able to draw one when you have a green tamer just helps you find your pieces, you know, the normal deck cycling and stuff like that. Sure. But I'm actually running a 5th egg with EX5 Terriermon because it gives the same inheritable as your starter Terrier and Lop. When you're alter and suspended, you gain an extra 1k. Which can make a difference sometimes, so it's just another nice to have. For the rookies, 4 starter deck Terrier is a given. That's kind of just like your main engine for the deck, being able to drop your Will Assist for 1, or drop a Lop for 1 to be able to get your Alliance main effect. It's just nice. Speaking of Lop, it's also going to be 4 of those. Again, just main effect Alliance, and then I usually end up evoing it into something else to make it just a bigger body for that Alliance, since it's just gained for the turn. So again, pretty nice there. We're running 2 EX4 Terriers. On play, search top 4, grabs any 2-color green card, and a Henry, which Henry we're not running as much of in the deck, but it's still nice to get the double hit every now and then. And then the inheritable for when you suspend with Alliance, you can evo into a 2-color green card for cost 2 less. Helps you go into the level 5 rapid or the MegaGargomon for cheaper.
For sure.
And then to round out the rookies, we're running 2 of the BT-15 memory blocker Terriermon. I toss that in there just to have something to play when you go into the Levia matchup. That way, if they're running, the pure Levia build where they're focused on gaining memory off the inheritables, you can kind of slow them down a little bit off that.
For sure. Did you ever think about playing like BT-8 Terrier, or is it just because like there aren't enough Henrys in the deck for you to really get value?
BT-8 Terrier, well, the Henry doesn't matter for that.
Oh no, it's a Gargo. Yeah, you're right, it's a Gargo.
Yeah, it searches top 5, grabs any Gargo or Rapid, which, I mean, it's not bad, but it's also, it feels bad when you bot deck 4 other pieces that you could potentially need.
For sure.
Plus you already have a decent amount of searching in the deck with Typhoon, so.
Fair enough.
Moving on to the level 4s, I've got 2 of the starter deck Gargo, being able to suspend for jamming, either by swinging in on its own and just getting some extra chip in, or suspending it with the Alliance effect to give like your bigger guy jamming. Pretty good. And then we've got 4 each of the starter deck Rapid, and then the BT-8 Rapid. BT-8 Rapid helps you kind of control the smaller wideboarding decks, just because you suspend with equal to the amount of green tamers you have, and then you minus 5k 3 different things. That's helped me a lot in the armor matchup, because if they have like Vmons on board and like Lydramons, you kind of just get rid of their stuff and they can't armor purge it. And then with the starter Rapid, same thing. If you swing on its own, you minus 4k something, minus 4k security, or use it to Alliance. to activate the effect anyway, and then it just having blockers, just a nice addition on top of that.
Sure.
The level 5s, the only thing I'm running is the level 5 starter deck rapid. This thing is just a cracked card and it has no right to be. Both on play when
I hate that motherfucker.
Yep. Both on play when when digivolving, de-digivolve 1 something, and then if you have a green tamer, gets absurd amount of protections, can't be deleted or bounce to hand or deck until the end of your opponent's turn, which is crazy. And it presents the threat on board for your MegaGargo Ace. So
for sure.
And then with the inheritable of all turns, when you delete a Digimon in battle by swinging into it, you trash the top of their security, which is nuts for the MegaGargo Ace.
Right.
Speaking of the MegaGargo Ace, moving on to the Megas, we've got 4 of them. Again, this is your other key piece of the deck, along with the Rapid and the Terrier. When digivolving, you can suspend 2 things, and then the other half of the effect, you don't have to target the same 2 things, you just target either the same 2 or another 2. They cannot unsuspend or digivolve, which is nuts because you can also suspend tamers off that, and like for hybrid, red hybrid for instance, you just stop them from digivolving or doing their like Emperor Grey play, and it's pretty big to just help save you a turn.
Right.
And then when digivolving or end of attack, you unsuspend the Digimon, so you swing once into their guy, get the rapid effect, and then swing again to security, and then you have blocker reboot on top of that, which you're just getting free swings in, and then just having a big body to block with at the start of their turn.
Right.
The other 2 megas I'm running is 1 Death Axmon, self-explanatory. There's no other card in this game that does what Death X does. It's getting reprinted pretty soon because it's kind of expensive right now, with the LM2, which I don't know when we're getting that, but at some point I know we will. And then Merciful Mode is the other level 7. This one helps in certain matchups by just bot decking pieces from their trash, so like Lavia armors, Devas, you just start, even hybrids, you shove 10 of their pieces in the trash, you pop a body on their board, and then if it happens to live through the next turn, you trash top of security.
Gotcha.
To round out the Digimon, I'm running 2 of Calomon, which is kind of like a personal tech choice for the deck. Being able to drop it for 1 when you have a Terriermon on board, and then having it do basically the Cool Boy effect when you digivolve. You gain 1, you draw 1, and then you're also giving something plus 3k, which can help like your level 4 guy swing over something that's potentially a threat. So if it stays out for more than a turn, it's basically like paid back its value even more. So it's for me, it's just been like super gas for the deck.
For sure.
Onto the options, I'm running 4 of Double Typhoon. Again, just another key piece of the deck. Probably one of the best searchers for the deck because you grab a green Digimon and a green Tamer, and then it's got the delay of being able to play out a Terrier or a Lop for free. Even the security effect's kind of good. When they hit it in security, you suspend 2 of their Digimon, and then it gets placed. That can save you sometimes, unless you're playing something like Mirage with a 50,000 on suspend, so that doesn't really matter. What does matter, though, is the 3 of Giant Missile. This one is very huge when it comes into play in security, because you suspend something, you bot deck one of their suspended Digimon, and then one of their Digimon cannot unsuspend for the turn. So it's good as a control piece. If it's in your hand, you can like get rid of like any Digimon that is an ace or has ace cards underneath, and it just makes it cheaper that way. Or like I mentioned, it kind of saves your ass in security sometimes, by being one of the checks, and you know, either stopping like multi-checks or just stopping them from unsuspending, which is huge.
For sure.
Last 2 options I'm running is a 2 of a Fire Rocket. This one's kind of huge because if you have both a level 4 Rapid and your MegaGargo Ace on board, you can actually give your MegaGargo Ace the extra check, because I realized this like mid-tournament a couple weeks ago, that it gives it to any Digimon that's 2 or more colors. It doesn't just give it to armor forms. You only need the armor form to ignore the color requirement on it. So,
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So MegaGargo Ace being able to swing for 2 checks on suspend, swing for 2 checks again is like like crazy good value on that.
Yeah.
So onto the tamers. I'm running one Mimi from BT-1. Kind of the memory set. It's just the memory setter for the deck. It can help combo off Willis when you hatch an egg and you push a body out, or if you just have a level 5 body out and you just push an egg out, or hatch an egg. It kind of just helps in that way. Willis I'm running 3 of. This one I've seen some people run it out of 4 of, and I feel like that's a little overkill, but I mean I can definitely see where it comes into play, because it makes your Gargo and Rapid evolutions cheaper. And that's pretty much like the only thing he's really used for. So,
Sure.
Yeah. And then 2 of the starter deck Henry. This one is nice because it gives you the option to biomerge. This is the second of the biomerge tamers that we've gotten. Just slowly, patiently waiting for Rico to get the biomerge effect. Just to round out the trio. But this one's kind of nuts because it gives the MegaGargo rush for whatever reason. I don't know why green needed that. I feel like that's much more of a red thing with Gallant, but for whatever reason they decided to give the biomerge rush. And then start of your main phase. If they have a Digimon on board, you get a memory. So that combined with the memory setter, if you have a Terrier and Raising and you need the MegaGargo in a pinch, you've got the option to do that. So
Right.
last tamer in the deck is actually another kind of weird tech choice. It's the dual tamer Mimi and Joe. This one, start of your turn. If they have a suspended Digimon, you gain a memory, and then if you have a suspended Digimon, you gain a memory, which I feel like I've run into that scenario a lot because either they've swung or I've swung, and the body just stays on board. So it's kind of nice just being able to supplement and get that extra memory. And then all turns, if your guy deletes one of their Digimon in battle, you can suspend it to draw one. So on top of like the rapid trash security, you're also getting an extra draw off that, which is also nice.
Right.
So and that's the whole deck.
Yeah, that wraps it up. So thanks for doing this again. A couple questions I did have were moving forward, right? We've got a lot of things to look forward to in terms of like BT-16 pieces and stuff like that. Obviously, Armors and Rapid are both decks that are going to be very heavily represented, and I think also very, very strong in their respective ways. Are there, like, what are you most looking forward to? Because I know there's some variants that are out there with like Vaccine Armors, Vaccine Rapid, Pure Terrier. Like, what are you looking forward to more?
Probably the Pure Rapid, or like the Pure Terrier / Pure Rapid. The Terrier X is going to be huge, giving Gargo Rapid Piercing. I mean, the Rapid X is obvious, just like another insanely good card. And then there's also the option, which I haven't seen too many lists run, but I mean, I feel like that could come into some point. Basically the equivalent of the Magnemon 3-cost option for Rapidmon, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in its current iteration right now, are there particular decks that, you see and you're like, man, this is going to be a rough matchup, or like you tend to struggle against? Like, are there decks that you just don't enjoy seeing right now?
Devas is one. Like, it's really hard to control a Deva board. Like, you can just like kind of just bait out their aces and then giant missile the thing away. But with the amount of bodies that they're spitting out, like, it's really hard to control it that way. You have BTA Rapid to like suspend their guys and try to get some swings in, but like even if they ace, the best you're doing is just crashing into their guy unless you have like both the Nyaro and the Terrier inheritable just to put you at 9k when they're at 7k. So
For sure.
it's kind of that. Yeah. That's definitely kind of rough. Red Hybrid's another one. If they just find all their pieces and they go much faster than you. But I mean, there are times when you can come back from that, because you're controlling their guys. So
for sure. And then on that flip side, I guess, are there matchups that you see this and you're like, I've got a good, this is good. I'm in a good spot. This is my match to lose.
I guess on the same coin, like red hybrid is kind of fun to play against. Like if you're having a good back and forth, because like I mentioned with the Mega Gargo Ace, you're stunning their tamer so they can't digivolve, which is kind of like their whole game plan. BT-7 Takuya with the shove 5 things on there and digivolve up into Emperor Grey. You kind of stop them from doing that, and usually that can buy you time to win the game. Like you and I have played Rapid versus Mirage a ton, and like again, the level 5 Rapid preventing bounce is huge because that stops like half of your things.
That, and also the fact that I get really baited by that threat that's on board, right? Because Mega Gargo Ace also is just like a huge middle finger to what my deck wants to do. Being a blocker, suspending my tamer, suspending my Digimon, and like preventing Digivolution. I'm in a really bad spot if like Mega Gargo hits the field, and I feel like that also, like, just that threat of it, even if you don't have it. Like there have been so many times where like you don't have it in hand and you're just like
just the hard bluff.
yeah
For sure. And I guess the other one is like it's kind of like a 50-50. Like I feel like Levia's a decent matchup. Like yeah, you have double Typhoon, you play that out by effect and they can do their stuff, but I mean if you play around that, like you I don't think you have that much of a bad time against Levia.
Sure. Nice. And speaking of strengths, you know, you did happen to take this over at the Texas Regional. I did kind of do a more of a breakdown of the top 16 decks on the like Digital Gate episode that released yesterday. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please do feel free to check it out. But you were able to participate in it, which we thought was super exciting. I know you did run into a few rougher matchups, but if you want to just do a quick recap of like how you did, what your experiences were, if you felt like some of those tech choices that you mentioned worked, didn't work, just elaborate on your overall experience for us.
Yeah, sure. So unfortunately I didn't do too hot. Round 1, I went against like Davos, like I mentioned. It's just a hard matchup to win. Right. So I lost there. Round 2, I went against Shine Grey, which I didn't know this was a thing until I got there. Ruin Mode Turbo. Yeah, so to sidetrack a little, the whole game plan with that is they play the mono yellow Shine Grey, right? They have they ideally have like 1 to 2 stacks on field, and then they have the 4-cost Marcus. And essentially, because the mono yellow Shine Grey suspends their Marcuses like on Evo, they go into ruin modes for free.
Oh.
Yeah. So apparently that's just a thing. Ruin mode turbo is just a thing, but the dude like hard bricked, and I ended up winning that pretty cleanly.
Jeremy, if you're watching this, please don't do this to me at locals.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like normal Shine Grey just does better, but I can see where they're coming from with that, which I mean, when we get into next format with Magna X, I can definitely see it doing a little bit better, since that's like one of the few DP reductions that sticks until their end of their turn.
Right.
So
for sure.
Round 3 against Red Hybrid, I ended up winning this because I god top decked the Fire Rocket. And ended up giving Mega Gargo enough checks to basically win out the game. Round 4, I went against Omnizu Dark Masters, which this deck is always like surprising to see. I do kind of want to build in, kind of mess around with it, but unfortunately, like nature of the game, they bricked, and at the end of game 2, the dude showed me his hand, and it was literally all Omnis, all level 7s.
Oh.
And he literally could not do anything. I felt so bad.
Jesus.
Yeah. Round 5, I was surprised to see a Gallant there, because at that point my record was 3-1. So again, surprised to see a Gallant, but unfortunately, again, nature of the game, I just kind of flat bricked both games. It was kind of funny to see because they were also running Calumon, and we kind of just like we basically did like the handshake over that as like brother. So it was awesome to see. And then unfortunately round 6 put me against Devas again, which that kind of just killed the run. And then round 7, last round of the day was against Mirage, which I thought I was gonna have an okay time with, and then he hit me with the Maka that prevents redirects and kind of just swung out. So but yeah, like I said, didn't do too hot, ended up 3-4, but I mean, you kind of just shrug it off and move on to the next one. So
yeah, I mean, season's still early, you've got plenty of regionals to go. And I think, like you said too, or we've mentioned before in other videos, like bunnies and Terrier right now, like strong deck, really good, but it's like missing that like extra support that it's gonna get next set. So it might be your time to shine, King.
we'll see if Magnax is really all that it's cracked out to be, and I shove it in the Jesmon, we'll see what happens there.
Oh my god. But yeah, any other closing thoughts that you wanted to mention, either about the regional, about the deck, or anything in general?
I guess I just want to quick fire off like some text I was trying to do while I was tweaking the deck. I should mention this. I am not a deck builder by any means, so I want to give a shout out to my friend Digitamer Joel. We kind of just been like back and forth discussing the deck over the past couple weeks leading up to the regional. So he kind of made the basis, and then I kind of like did some small tweaks to kind of like put it towards my playstyle a little.
For sure.
But quick shout out tech cards, like I guess honorable mentions. BT-3 Gargomon for the 1-cost Evo. EX2 Terriermon, I tried in the deck a bit. That combos really well with the SD Terrier. You can get free Willis's that way for the reduction, and then you gain the 1 back off the EX2 Terrier. I tried EX4 Black Rapidmon for a bit. It's nice because it gave me an extra level 5 target, and it has Inherent Alliance, which is really good if you have the EX4 Terrier underneath, so you go into your Mega Gargo for cheaper. Sure. Quartzmon, just a generic green top end. If you're running green, you're probably running Quartzmon, unless it's this deck. The Izzy and Joe wasn't my first choice, or the Mimi and Joe wasn't my first choice. It was actually Izzy and Mimi. That one just gives you a flat 2 memory if your opponent has a suspended Digimon, which is kind of nice. You don't really use the gotcha effect at all. You kind of just use it for the bonus memory. And then another.
What do you mean? Just top deck everything. Easy.
Oh my god! Yeah, let me just top deck my ace. Jesus. And then one card that I didn't get to try, but I was also seen pretty decent for top end is Quantumon. Because that card in general is also kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically about it.
Nice. Well, once again, thank you for doing this and hopping on. If you've got any questions for Jorel, please feel to drop them in the comment section down below. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, one last reminder to do so. But thank y'all, for tuning in and showing us the support. We hope that you've enjoyed this video, and can keep tuning in for future ones like this. So, without further ado, signing off, and we'll catch you on that flip. Bye bye.
See ya.